2024 Ram-Rampage-Laramie and Ford-Ranger-Raptor are both exciting new midsize trucks aimed at different buyers. Here's a quick comparison to help you decide. Style. Ram-Rampage-Laramie. This trim level offers a chrome and silver heavy exterior for a more traditional and upscale look, similar to the Ram 2500 and 3500. Ford-Ranger-Raptor leans into a sporty, aggressive design with black accents and functional vents on the flared fenders. Interior. Ram-Rampage-Laramie, expected to offer a luxurious interior with premium materials and technology features, in line with the Laramie trim on other Ram trucks. Ford-Ranger-Raptor goes for a sporty feel with jet fighter-inspired seats and code orange accents throughout the cabin. Performance. Ram-Rampage-Laramie, while details are scarce, it likely shares the 2.0-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine from the Rampage Rebel trim, which produces 203 horsepower and 400 Nm of torque. Ford-Ranger-Raptor. Ford hasn't confirmed specifics, but it is expected to have a powerful engine focused on off-road performance, possibly similar to the outgoing Ranger-Raptor's 392 horsepower twin-turbocharged EcoBoost V6. Focus. Ram-Rampage-Laramie targets buyers who want a midsize truck with luxury features and comfort for daily driving. Ford-Ranger-Raptor, built for off-road enthusiasts who prioritize performance and capability on rough terrains. Availability. Ram-Rampage-Laramie just launched in Brazil, with North American release details yet to be announced. Ford-Ranger-Raptor, coming to North America for the first time in 2024. Picking your truck. If you prioritize luxury and a comfortable ride, the Ram-Rampage-Laramie might be the better choice. If you crave off-road prowess and a sporty feel, then the Ford-Ranger-Raptor is likely a better fit. Building on the 2024 Ram-Rampage-Laramie, the new Night Edition specification, which features a few exclusive touches, sits alongside other models from the car manufacturer's portfolio at the aforementioned event, which kicked off on April 29 and will end its gates today, May 3. The Ranger-Raptor gets its motivation from the same twin-turbocharged 3.0-liter V6 that powers the Bronco Raptor. Because of its longer exhaust piping, the Ranger-Raptor makes 405 horsepower and 430 pound-feet instead of 418 horsepower and 440 pound-feet. That's nothing to fret over, because the Ranger-Raptor's 5,372 pound curb weight is 392 pounds lighter than a Bronco Raptor we tested. All of this shows up clearly at the track, where the Ranger-Raptor gets to 60 miles per hour in 5.3 seconds, finishes the quarter mile in 14.1 seconds at 97 miles per hour, and romps from 50 to 70 miles per hour in 3.9 seconds. The Bronco lags in all three measures. The Ranger-Raptor is only a tenth slower to 60 miles per hour than the F-150 version, but it executes the 50 to 70 mph pass a tenth quicker. In the contest that really matters, the Ranger-Raptor's 5.3-second romp to 60 miles per hour destroys the Chevrolet Colorado ZR2's 6.8-second effort, which it rightly should with 95 extra ponies. Laramie. As its name implies, the dark trim characterizes the new model. It has glossy black on the headlamp frames, front grille, side mirror caps, and window surrounds. The 18-inch wheels feature the same look, and the skid plate, badges, and door handles sport a granite crystal finish. The rear bumper and tailpipes follow this theme, rounding out the updates on the outside. Underneath, the Raptor's 3.5-inch front track increase comes primarily from longer forged aluminum upper and lower control arms. Its fortified steering rack is a bespoke piece instead of a carryover from the regular Ranger, with longer tie rods. Damping comes from 2.5-inch Fox live valve shocks with variable compression damping, and there's a front anti-roll bar. In back, the axle tube is 3.5 inches broader, fortified by trusswork, and located by 4 trailing links. Lateral control comes from a Watts linkage instead of the usual panhard rod, a more expensive approach that provides greater cornering stiffness and symmetrical roll behavior. The springs are coilovers surrounding the Fox dampers, but there's no rear anti-roll bar. Opening the door of the 2024 Ram-Rampage-Laramie Night Edition will reveal lots of black leather upholstery. The black leather was wrapped around the seats, door cards, and instrument panels. The model also has a black headliner and black speakers.
This upholstery has replaced the mountain brown leather normally found on the Rampage-Laramie. On the road, the Raptor delivers a settled ride that sometimes borders on supple. Cracked surfaces can get the big 33-inch BF Goodrich Co. 03SA thumpin', but it's never the dominant theme. The Ranger-Raptor even steers more assuredly than the regular model, on account of a sportier effort tune. It bends nicely into turns, too, but only up to a point. If you push hard, the square-shouldered off-road tires will balk. They only manage 0.69 G on the skid pad, with abundant understeer at the limit. Same is true of the brakes, which feel capable in daily use but only manage 70 miles per hour panic stops in a woeful 218 feet when passed through the KO3 filter. It's all typical Raptor stuff that's common to its Bronco and F-150 relations, though. Drive accordingly. As you can expect from such a vehicle, it features lots of gear. The automaker mentions the 12.3-inch infotainment system with smartphone integration, a 10.3-inch digital gauge cluster, dual-zone climate control, LED ambient lighting, electrically adjustable front seats, and a Harman Kardon audio system with 10 speakers and a subwoofer. Keyless entry and Go Start are also included on the Ram-Rampage-Laramie Night Edition, alongside a generous amount of safety gear, such as lane departure warning, blind spot monitoring, front collision control with autonomous braking, adaptive cruise control, and so on. The Raptor. The assembled parts work supremely well at speed in the desert. Once we got to the monument and paid our respects, our route back was the same way we came in. We knew what to expect and where to turn, so we hammered it. The Raptor's suspension and tires dug in, and its tidy dimensions allowed us to flick it between outstretched creosote limbs with nary a scratch. Dips, crests, and drainages we'd barely noticed on the tentative drive and felt like an off-road course at triple the speed, and the Raptor's 10 inches of front and rear suspension travel soaked it all up greedily. It's clear that the Ranger-Raptor is most definitely a right-sized machine that's scaled perfectly for this environment, and it has the suspension to match. Ram says the 2024 Rampage-Laramie Night Edition is available exclusively with a Hurricane 4-banger. The 2.0-liter turbocharged gasoline burner pushes out 268 horsepower, 272 PS/200 kW, and 295 pound-foot, 400 Newton-meters, of torque. A 9-speed automatic transmission delivers the power to the all-wheel drive system. And the Raptor. Earlier, we'd driven it slowly on rockier trails that were more technical. This gave us a chance to sort through the various driving modes, which are accessed through a rotary knob shared with the regular Ranger, but with 3 extra modes: off-road, Baja, and rock crawl. Inside its perimeter there are 5 buttons instead of the Ranger's 4. 2H, 4H, 4L, high and low range, and a central trailer tow button are here, but the Raptor alone has a 4A mode that automatically shifts into 4-wheel drive in response to traction conditions. Pricing starts at $277,990 Brazilian reals, which comes out to $53,915 at the current exchange rate, or Rs$15,000, $2,910, more expensive than the regular Ram Rampage-Laramie. Ram pulled the wraps off the new Rampage last year. Production started at the brand's Goiânia factory in Pernambuco, Brazil. The model is based on Stellantis' small wide 4x4 LWB platform, which mechanically ties it to other vehicles from the automotive giant's portfolio. The Alfa Romeo Tonale and Dodge Hornet Duo, the Jeep Commander and the Compass are all based on this construction, which is an evolution of the small wide 4x4 architecture used by the Jeep Renegade and its Italian cousin, the Fiat 500X. Selecting off-road brings up 4H as the initial default, and rock crawl automatically goes for 4L. Baja starts in 4H and switches off the stability and traction control, but you can run it in 2H or 4L. The electronically locking rear differential comes on automatically when you select off-road or rock crawl. Unlocking it is a driver action, but you select it manually in Baja. Frankly, we think it should behave this way in all 3 modes, because locking any differential should be a conscious decision you make at need. Meanwhile, the front locker is only selectable in low range and rock crawl with the rear diff locked, which is fair enough. All of these mode changes take little time, with the usual shift to neutral being the only delay going into and out of 4L. We're not crazy about the location of the diff lock buttons,
which only appear on the lower half of the touchscreen after you press the off-road status button next to the rotary knob. Between the virtual front and rear diff lock buttons you'll find the trail control button, which, when engaged, is an off-road cruise control that works uphill or down. You use the regular cruise control buttons to set and adjust speed in increments of 1 mile per hour in 4H and 0.5 miles per hour in 4L. It's not a bad system, but manual control is easy enough with the 10-speed automatic, which delivers a 61.59 to 1 crawl ratio in low range and first gear. In normal truck terms, the Raptor is packed with all the interior design goodness of the new Ranger, including its dual glove boxes, Bang & Olufsen sound system, and 12.4-inch vertical touchscreen. The Raptor seats are comfy and hold tight, and it's generally a pleasant place to while away the miles, if a bit monochromatic in the Raptor's all-black with red accents theme. The 5-foot bed behind the crew cab is similarly able to carry 4-foot plywood and drywall panels flat on the deck, and the bed comes replete with 110 and 12-volt outlets, underrail lighting, and numerous attachment points for various factory and aftermarket add-ons. The only thing missing is the optional bed step from the regular Ranger, which had to be omitted because the Raptor's dual exhausts run through the mounting space.